Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and we are live. I'm quickly doing some a Twitter post about the painting, and then start painting. I think we are here. Let's bring up Livestream. I'm live. Seems to be okay. Right, we can start. This is exciting. I hope my YouTube will update. Let me refresh the page. Sometimes it doesn't show viewers, or I even expect YouTube not displaying chat correctly. Hopefully that won't be the case today. So we're back with the sci-fi city painting. We're almost done, or yeah, I think we're almost done. Last week we had a bit of a shorter stream. Today I'm planning on streaming a little bit longer, so hopefully we can finish this painting. That's the goal. We're gonna paint a little bit on it, and that's gonna be it. Then we're gonna call it a day. As soon as we're done, and we won't work on it anymore. The goal is to bring it up to a state where I can be happy with it and say that it's done. So let me see. This thing here will probably reflect a bit of the light from the lamppost. Yeah, we're gonna be painting little details here and there. Gonna be quite interesting, I think. Seemed to work fairly well last week. Last week, said before, oh, my opacity is way down. Turn it up. Last week, I had some struggles with the confidence level when I started, but once I was painting, it actually went fairly well. I surprised about how well it went, and how happy I ended up being with the results. So yeah, that was a really good confidence booster, and hopefully we can translate that today in some paint. That would be very lovely. So yeah, we're gonna work on this middle section a little bit. We're gonna add some people on the street, and we will probably work on the background a little bit on the houses, a little bit of atmospheric perspective. I think we can work on this marketing area on this building, and we definitely have to work on the building itself as well, because from all the buildings, this is sort of the center point of the painting. Of course, the eye is to the street level, maybe to the church and to this building, but this just doesn't entirely right. I'm gonna work on it. Not sure how we'll fix it, but and I kind of want to work on the sky as well. That's just we sort of left the sky how it was with the textures from the photographs, but I'm kind of planning on changing it up a little bit and actually painting on it. Quite lovely, I think. So that's something we can start working on. I think we can yellow here, reddish color. A bit here as well. This initially was a rock on the pictures, but we can use it, turn that in cloud. That's actually quite easy. And we probably have to add some details to the buildings. Um, I think we will bring in some textures because that's a really good way to bring in some details on like this. And throw on some lights, photographs, make it quite good looking. And yeah, we're working with a slightly adjusted full brush in Photoshop. Special brushes created for this. Yeah, I create my own brushes using Photoshop. I probably shoot a video on that. That's actually a good topic, I think, to do a video on how you can use the default Photoshop options to create interesting brushes for your project. And you can go all out on it if you want. You can let's try to. Yeah, are we working on a new layer? We should be. Let's try something. Let's do some more. Those marketing signs. So, yeah, grab some colors here and there and throw them in. Probably that. I mean, we might throw in some pictures, content. I think if you want to do this, we sort of need to go all out with it. We need to slightly overdo. I think that's the. I think that's the way to go. If we want to do this, we sort of almost ridiculous how much is on this building. I think that I'm just going to use the lasso to grab the polygon lasso tool. This. Let's grab a. Let's grab this yellow. Maybe it will be. I have some color up there as well. Sure. And just to be sure, I'm gonna do a couple of more of them on a new layer, so we can turn on and off the layer to see like it. Let's draw some. Oh, we can draw the frames later. So let's just big board here. Call the billboard. And scrap. Festive 80 is a bit much, I think. Them to be sort of slightly transparent. And maybe there's one here as well. Let's grab this pink. And we can pop sort of a gradient on. If you want, we can throw in some photographs to have some content on there. Not sure if it's gonna work. It feels like I'm sort of hiding the building in those boards so that I don't have to work on the building itself. So it kind of feels like cheap. On the other hand, it's actually common practice in a lot of cities these days just to hang all things. So why shouldn't it be the case in? Turn off the layers. I think it works. I think it works. So I'm gonna keep it. But to make it less, I'm gonna add some in the background as well. So one here. Well, a lot of blue already. Some colors as well. I need to correct too. Let's say that street. Another one. Yeah. And now we're gonna roll some frames around. So that just there. That. Shitty. I think we got selected something. Incidentally. Let's go. It's a little thick. Thin. Slightly thicker. Just to give an illusion of some sort of a metal frame wrapped around it. We're gonna do some highlights on the frame. So. It's probably connected. Yeah, down here. Thing. Well. Stuff. We probably need some darkened background behind the board. This one is a bit sloppy. Can fix that. Okay. Darker brush for that. And the way to make that pop at the region that frame is just by I think that works. Oh, we will work on the content of these things later. This is probably quite fragile, so some this. Couple of something like that. It's quite small, so the same goes for this, but might get rid of that. We might do a couple of more, just to overdo it a little bit. Slightly darker. and um, opacity. Darken the area behind it a little bit. Something like that. And then we have to darker. Seems to be lighter. Brush. There we go. So far it works, I think. And then we need a bit of highlight. Yeah, I think that's here at the bottom. Well, slightly different color for it. That's the same color as the itself, so that's a bad idea. Maybe we can get a each color there. I think that works. Ah, we need to, oops. Fine. Roll the frame. Guys, I also need to make this lamppost a little bit cleaner. It's a bit odd. Oh, not really odd, it is. Here, the background isn't perfectly separated from it. Try to do that a little bit. Grab a dark blue. Shift key for these straight lines. Could draw them, of course, but Shift key is a lot easier. I think it's a nice key to be able to. And we're not gonna make the frame here too dark here because this is in the background, so we don't want many details. We have to work on this. I think there's some storefront on the side, so we need to work on that. So let's add a the entrance sword. Quite rough. Some windows or windows quite high. Maybe there's a door. This is the door here. It is all sort of set in all glass, so to speak. And it's not very neat, but since it's quite far away, it's actually not too bad. I think we want lights though. So let's set the opacity higher. We want to keep some of these details because they give an illusion, windows, things like that. And we can use the details to actually paint something here. Gives us inspiration. I had some stuff going on here. You can see that if I turn off the paint layer. Let's turn it off. As you can see, there is already sort of the illusion of sort of an arch here, and I use that to create the store. A little bit rough here though, so find it. and I can sort of change it a little bit the way I want it, but it allows you to start without an empty canvas, so to speak. So that allows you to just see things and get inspired by things. Uh, Zoom out, because if you're zoomed in, it looks totally, well, it doesn't really look totally different, but it looks quite different too. I think we can go slightly darker on this here. I'd like this to be sort of a pillar of some sort, just like in the in those Greek Roman temples. Well, Roman temples. No, stolen ID better than a bad one that you came up yourself. I don't know if that's there's a expression for that, but that better to steal an helmet with your own bad. So that's also basically what I'm doing with photo textures. They allow me to sort of steal ideas of the photograph, and of course I'm making it my own interpretation. So in a sense, it's still my own ID, but I, I get some aid. And of course, it is possible to paint from scratch. I've done that before. There is a first video on this channel is that first two videos. And I probably will do that well, but sometimes it's just start with a lot of information ready presented for you. Basically, only have to process. Still need to work on that church. This is a bit of a messy area. This is actually quite high. Maybe the entrance. Maybe this is sort of an what's that called in English? An archway? Yeah, this is of course an archway, but maybe the store entrance is a little bit further back. So when you're walking sidewalk, you're walking under this thing here, and then this store entrance is the entrance. Slightly move. This is going to be a but I think I'm gonna keep of might help with that. A little bit too dark, so let's lighten it up slightly. Just a tiny bit, and there we go. I think that is some. Oh, done. Got a call. It's not. Alright, gotta take this. Oh, I'm back. I'm sorry for that. That didn't go as planned. Let's quickly continue. We'll be gone for 30 seconds in a couple of minutes, but hopefully you will barely notice that. Let's quickly do something, but I can do that from behind my PC. It's gonna be fine, hopefully. And yeah, I'm basically bouncing all around painting. That's usually how I work. I work on one bit, then I bounce to the next one, and then I come back and then bounce back. And, I find that fairly a fairly good method because it allows me to work on sort of the entire painting. Some sort add one place. That seems to be right. Effective. So yeah, basically bouncing all around, and then I'm working here, and 5 minutes later I'm working on the other side of the painting. That way I get sort of the same level of detail onto the entire painting, which is something that I quite like to achieve. And basically looking for areas where I think, you know what, I can improve that, and I know what to do, how to improve it. Sometimes I look at an area and think, you know, that doesn't really look right. Then I will we'll work on it if I know what to do with it. If I don't really know what to do with it, I will just keep it for now and come back to it later. There are a couple of areas that I want to improve but don't really know yet what to do with it. I really struggled a long time with this area, but I found a way to work, I think. But kind of want to improve this bit in the background so we don't have to do a whole lot about it, but now it's just flat, and I want to work on this thing here. Well, this area and this thing here, and do some slight improvements. I think the perspective is a little bit off on these windows, so I'm gonna change that a little bit. And I need to work on this building, add some details and a little bit over it, because now it's just plain texture. So that's a bit of my my work, my workflow. Need to send an email, so a bit distracted. You know what? I'm gonna quickly do it now. I'm gonna keep talking because that's it's okay. That's something I can do, hopefully. So that I don't have to switch to the break window. And better off just doing it right now, and then I can continue. Go. Was done. Ugh. Sending it from my wife's laptop. She forgot to email. So, alright, done. But that thing is very, very slow. Finally, we're done. We can continue on this painting. I also need to work on this car or thing or whatever, because that's not entirely the way I want it to be. So let's see, where do we want to start first? I think I'm gonna separate this this building here, this thing with from that thing behind. Building up front here. Let's make it like this. But if I do that, I want to do that there. Let's do that. I think I can collapse the. It's normally I'd like to paint on a single layer, unless I'm trying something different, which is quite radically changed. So now, basically separating these out. I don't think this perspective is entirely correct. To make it. Thing is, we got a building here that just is not really cool looking. So work on that. And I'm better looking. Perspective is off on the wing side as well, I think. Although it's fairly close to the horizons. Yeah, it's mainly because the perspective on the roof isn't correct. Why this is really showing. Perspective. What I'm gonna still not really. Let's add to the building. Tower, and let's add a something like this. Be working. Let me think. The problem I should have fixed that a long time ago, because now I have to. I'm already my head. I'm busy with it, just the detailing, and that's a quite relaxing job. Now I have to really think hard on how am I gonna fix this building. I don't know. We need to add something. Add a big. Well, maybe we can create a sort of an overhang here. Something. Maybe something like this. And then that. And now we need to separate it from this tower in the back. Yeah, that's design out. front here. Looking at this. This is the front. Yeah. Quite light, I think. Something like this. And only thing we need to do now is to basically merge it better with the rest of the painting. It's gonna be a challenge. And it feels quite big, so maybe if we copied it. Copy. Or cut it out. Or slide. I don't know. I think I'm gonna stay with the this one. Slightly big, and it doesn't really fit the down there, but I think I'm gonna work with it. We can collapse. Um, let's just start painting with it, and this is quite. If you want to do that, we need texture on it. I'm gonna get rid of. I don't think it's gonna work. Change it. So we're gonna just this. Maybe there are some old-fashioned down there. Let's do that. Brush. Color do we want? To be quite bright. Right. Taking a larger selection. Yeah, I think that works, and then we just have to get rid of the area here. Something like that. But then it's not really cool looking. But we can maybe fix that a little bit. All right. I'm gonna collapse that then. Separated these. So this is how we started, and this is where we are now. Been painting for I've been on a break for a little bit, so it's 35 minutes of paint. I think that's quite okay. And now we're gonna work on the thing here. Building next to it. Quite like that. This and selection. Rid of. And something like that. So that makes it slightly more interesting. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, that definitely works. Now we need to grab some more lights, I think, and add a little bit of lights into the painting in some places. So I think I'm gonna search some textures. Let's see, not too much. Just on this building, and maybe. Nah, no. I think if I do that, I think I need to paint a little bit. But before we painting, I want to copy this. I want to fix the perspective on. To be some around here. So from this to. Yeah, I think that works better. And the same goes for the other side. We need to do some painting on that building as well, because now it just photo with it is essentially of course with some paint, but do it for this side as well. Copy. Something like that. So we went from here. Yeah, I think that's definitely gonna collapse these layers. We also need to work on the sky, as I said before. The sky is not in sky, and we need to work on this thing. Grab the correct layer. Let's grab a brush. Painting. This is sort of a glass dome. Oh, that's look I want to here. I think I'm gonna grab my opacity. Better for this. White, bright blue. I think we're gonna add all sorts of lights in here, so it's reflecting a lot of light. Kinds of sources. I think this is corrupting the ID. Is round shape. So you can use that to add detail here and there. Add some lights. Then we will grab a texture lights and throw it on here. I think that's starting to come together. It's actually it's very bright for the place that it is in, so you probably have to someone's getting himself hurt. I don't think it should be quite as bright as it is currently. So we're gonna grab off brush again. Yeah, that's much. I think this is okay. Yeah, because it's in the background, it isn't as bright. Solution. Yeah, I think that. Oh, I still have this thing in there. Can get rid of that. I think we will do something like this there. But we will. Let's work on the sky a bit. To give it a painted look. Now you see that. What kind of colors do the sky? Like challenging. I think we just color pick most. And maybe this is the same cloud. Kind of. Sure, we cover color for the bottom darks. Oh. Brighter colors. We could do a moon of some sort. Not sure. Also not entirely happy with this vibrant color. Maybe we can a little bit, but then we'd have to pilot color balance of the entire paint. This is also not good. As you can see, I'm already bouncing to something else. Way of work. What? I'm gonna work on the sky, and then 3 seconds on the sky, and then at the next thing. pick from here. Just to make the clouds a little bit more now. Sure if I'm really that. Maybe we'll just keep it bright. This is actually still way too bright for night. Thought I fixed that, but right way. Problem is curved. It's actually quite challenging. Right selection. By this. And we have to fix some of that brightness here as well. I think this building is could be a little bit darker. I think I'm gonna make the. It's a problem. Am I gonna make the sky darker or lighter than the buildings? It's darker here, but here it's lighter. It's a quite difficult lighting setting for myself. Check the values. It's almost the same. Should have worked out a little. I think, but you'd expect, I think, at night to be the well. It depends which time at night it is, but let's say that it is late, not entirely dark yet, then the sky usually a little bit lighter. But there's a lot of artificial light going on, so that lightens the buildings. That makes it a little bit. Um, let's grab this. We need to. I want to keep that to get the same tree darker. Although, if the sun is low, it's probably hitting the top. So, expect it. Something like this. So, to. And maybe. So, not if we do it like this, then. So, we should switch this one around as well. The top should be higher. I think we can do. Add some. This. Quite bright, I think. Should be. I feel this should be. Something like this. here. Well, I think. Slightly big. And yeah, I think that gives the a lot better vision that the sun is fairly. It's the sun isn't quite gone yet. It's somewhere at the horizon and lighting up the tops of. Still not sure how this building is gonna look. And probably to achieve that, we probably should switch lighting scenario here. I think we here today. The problem is we lose a lot of detail, so we need to bring that back. That's not a big deal. We can easily tell with textures. Yeah, I think I'm so far I'm quite happy with it. So, gonna grab this, and this is gonna be fairly bluish, quite dark, or a little bit darker than now, and it's probably something like that. Select it. Also, instead of doing this, grab a new layer, set it to Y. This. Opacity quite a bit. Side as well. Tiny bit of this edge. Yeah, I think that adds quite a bit. We probably should have done that with the rest of the buildings as well, because it allows us to make them darker without losing fill. So we should use the layer settings more often. I think actually quite perfect. Fine. Something like this. Yeah, we should have done that with the rest of the buildings as well. We probably went to pay for that on this one as well. Let's say the sun is coming from there. I think I'm gonna keep it simple and straight. Could make shapes in it. And the big old brush. and we can always do this. I think that works. I think we need to is a little bit darker. Oh. Yeah, I think that's definitely an improvement. These things here. We could make this top part white as well, but it's not entirely necessary yet. Let's work on. I think we can. Problem is we can't collapse the layers. They're on multiply. But you're working on. Gonna work on this. All right. Brush. Start working on some more detail, because that was the reason why we were painting today, is to add detail to our painting. So let's try and do that. Add one more. One more. The opacity. Color here. So I selected. Just the brush is a little bit wider than it is tall. Side here. Gonna fairly bright highlight. And let's say that maybe the sun is hitting the side as well. And then we color here. Brush shows small. Barely see it. I probably should. Go. Some. I get a feeling that brush shoot darker. All right. And we instantly create some highlight there as well using the texture. Okay. We probably, let's quickly paint something. That's kind of cool. Sky. Let's sky here. Some castle there. There's, it's not really important. Sure. Not sure if that works. Maybe. So then it's gonna be some text. So maybe you probably can't read it, but it reads as text. I'm not gonna do each individual marketing board that way because that's gonna take way too much time. I think I'm gonna grab some photograph, or maybe I would just leave them like this. I think that works too. I think we don't necessarily make them all finished, so to speak. And this little bit, quite a mess. I like it. Shift key. Fine. Things that don't work. For it's the corner, and then we grab this. It's a bit of an old-fashioned building, so it doesn't fit here, but maybe it is a remnant of the past. Guy there that doesn't sell the building. Maybe the city wants to keep. It's a monument. Here. Right. And we're gonna add some lights so we don't have to getting the illusion that there is some form of inhabitants. Quite nice. I'm gonna draw this a little bit over here, and we're probably gonna add. Let's add stuff here. Well, doesn't all only sit on the side of the building. connected to the building somehow. So slightly different color. It's probably a reflected light from. Oh, we could make it more. Work. I think that's okay. Add some more highlights on the things. Spending a lot of time working on this building. Probably reflecting of yellow light as well. That's the cool thing about a city scene, especially a modern city like this. There's so many light sources, so even when you can't see the light sources, it doesn't mean that it's there. Maybe someone is shining with a flashlight or the headlights of a car, or who knows, the lights coming from a shop window, or could be anything. So that's really cool. Can play with that a little bit. Perspective is off. What's that? So yeah, that's really cool. You can make up your own. Oh, that's of course that's for any painting. You can make up your own stuff, but you can you have a bit more freedom here, I think, than traditional landscape. So that you can work a little with clouds, and sky, but you can just say there's a light hitting this building. Then why not? We have that light source. How long have I been painting? 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's almost for a short break. We did quite some work. I think if we spend another hour or two, I think we can definitely say that we are to a finished level. So I'm gonna take a short break. After the break, I think I'm gonna start throwing in some more textures and lights on these buildings, especially one. And we need to work on this. This is the tower. We also need to figure out what to do with this. And I'm gonna all the other dark and bottom. Grab my beloved soft brush. Wait. Cool. Works. So yeah, we need to add some lights on this and there and on the buildings in the background. That's something that we're gonna work on after the break. We're gonna add some textures and then we will paint some more details. And yeah, I think we are doing quite good today. So yeah, I'm fairly happy. This is basically how we started, and as you can see, there's not a whole lot changed, but a little bit more detail. Most of it is focused around this building, so we need to spread out our attention a little bit to the rest as well, because some of it can use some work. So, but that's for after the break. I'm gonna take a 3-minute break. Time it to 3 minutes, and this. There we go. Don't go anywhere. I will be back soon. And back. Let's continue with this painting. We're gonna take a look at some photo textures and see if we can add a bit of light to some of the buildings. See, oh, but it could have been nice for some stuff, but that's something that we're gonna use today. Let's see. Let's put on the browse menu here so you can see what I'm looking at. This could be nice, but that's quite far away. But let's open it anyway. We might use that. I use this, though I'm not sure if it's bright enough. We might use this. Doesn't really matter what the subject is. I'm currently looking at cities, but could even use this. Just throw it in there. Who knows? Might not use it, but it's really nice with the reflections of the window. This is basically a bit of the scene that I'm painting here. The lightning is it's late in the evening. The sun is just hitting the upper windows here. Open it. Oh, sure if I'm gonna use it, but to use those, the lights or and I think we grab one more and then gonna call it a day, and then we'll see if we can make light effects. This is really cool for some fantasy land. Wow. But no. Let's see. Maybe we'll just grab the ones that we already have. Those. Got some more, I'm quite sure, but I got one. Yeah, Times Square at night. This one is the one I used initially for the painting. If you look carefully, you can probably spot some remnants of it, especially this one. Look at this, and then check this. That's basically that. Oh, but yeah, basically copied. Even the Chevrolet sign, I kept that intact just to as a sort of a tribute to that texture. Here and there, you can still see some of it. Let's just grab this one and be really rough with it. Just throw it in there. Top layer. Just make it full screen. And to color dodge, I think. Screen. I think color dodge. And then we can just wander around with it, so to speak, and see if we can come up with interesting. Something looks interesting. Maybe we can use some of the bottom stuff here for here background. To get the mark. Don't need this. This. Also get rid of the reflection. At sides. Here we go. We get rid of a bunch. Up. Something here down at the bottom. Alright, now we have a nice workable size. And we can just throw this around and see, you know what, this looks like some nice, for instance, if we like there's lights here on this building, we can just grab that and delete the rest. Then we have some lights on it. Let's copy it so that we have a copy we can work off for the next. So, for instance, I shouldn't press it. Just let's say that we like these lights here. We're gonna get rid of this there, and we can use the eraser tool to erase most of the things that we don't want, or all of the things that we don't. Quite a bit of the lights. Maybe we like them on the thing marketing. And we can lower the opacity if we want. And instead of this, we have this now for our building. So that may be that looks actually quite nice. We need to make sure that we delete these things though. Careful that we don't leave any spots of light of places that we don't want. And now we added some detail, a little bit, not too much, but enough. Lower the opacity a little bit more. I think this looks better. There we go, and then we can take this again and say, you know what? I want something back here. Building needs some form of lights, and let's copy it again. There. Deleting it before selecting. Let's say we like this. Put the lights back there. Stretch it up a little bit. Opacity a little bit, not too much. I think we can bring it back a little. And the brush size for the eraser tool, and erase everything that part of that building. This maybe erase as well. There we go. And see opacity. We added some more. And yes, maybe this feels like color bashing to some people. But essentially already made the painting. We just adding sort of information to the painting. I could go in there with a brush and add all these things myself, but that just takes a lot of time. And I can spend, if I want, I can spend the time on other things. So I quite like to spend the time on. What if we let's copy it? Quite like this thing. So what if I flip it side? Let's say that we throw it on top. That. I don't know if it works, but we're gonna go for it. And more. lower the opacity because this is way too. I think it adds information, not sure if it adds the information that I want. Leaving it for now. Might might change it. All right. Where do we want to add some more? Let's grab a different picture. Sure. This maybe this one. Let's grab this one. Okay. Bottom. Grab this. I use this one quite a bit. Okay. Set it to screen. Color dodge. I think color dodge makes it very blue. That's why we have all this. That's something to look out for. Not really feeling it. I kind of like this background. All I like the small lights in the background. So this area, really like that. So let's grab that area. It's on and start throwing around. See if you do this. Cool. It. Save it. I think we can go like that. Yeah, I quite like that. I quite like that information. I think I use it for this one as well. It's good density. Probably shoot something like this. Grab the soft brush instead. I need to select the other layer. Yeah, I think that works. Bring back a little bit of the. Should put this all in the once we're done, and on and off the group to see to check the progress. What do I want more? A little bit more, not too much, because if I do it too much, if it's just one sea of light, and gonna lose a lot of paint, so to speak. And I want it. Foremost, I want it to be painting and get a thrown thing of textures. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a bit on this. But let's grab the same area again. What if you put this on the round shaped glass? Actually, really nice. I'm gonna use that to add all those lights I was talking about earlier. Make it look reflective. Yeah, I think that works quite well. Still not so sure about these. I think I'm gonna go way down with opacity. I'm gonna 30. So that's way in the background. I don't want it to be too bright, and pull the attention away from the foreground elements. Yes, and then we need select the correct layer. Which one is it? What? Yeah, we want some texture on that build. Yeah. Grab this. Good. Almost the right perspective. Much. Yeah, I think that works. Stuff that we don't want, and I'm gonna copy it once more. Gonna flip it one perspective on it. I want this slightly in terms of the order of the windows. Yeah, we definitely have some painting to do to get rid of a lot of color difference, things like that. For the couple of minutes, collapse all these layers. Copy it. There we go. Some lights on it. We probably should do some lights there as well. Grab the same bit. I think we do. Could also go for this area here. Same texture, the same density and lights. Should work quite well. The wrong perspective though, but if I flip this vertically, was right. Set it color dodge again. And not sure I'm going to achieve what I want here. Sort of warp place, I think. Yes. Something like that. Really feel right. I think I'm gonna go for the top part now. In terms of texture, adding get rid of this. Like see, there we go. I think it's starting to come together. I got an idea. It's a good idea. Idea. Set it to top. There we go. Basically, I think I want to white. I think I might add some lights onto that dome as well. Might be a little bit tricky, but kind of like to. Yeah, I think we're definitely getting there with the detail, and we're gonna do one more layer of painting after this, and I think we will be state then. Cool. This because to we can go away, get away with it. use. Computer is slowing down because maybe you should add for parts. So it's slowing down quite a lot. This is actually quite fine. Go. And maybe set the OST, yeah. We can use that same area. Copy. There. For instance, to add some detail, car. Still. And let's grab this. There. Bit. Go. Some. Which we can use to further detail the car. Yeah, I think this pass worked quite well so far. We still need to do building, so that's what we're gonna do next. Take the same bit. It's a bit tricky to do, or not tricky. It's a bit, yeah, tricky is maybe the right word. Because might all look the same. Right? A little case here, but yeah, I would really like to have some reflection going on here. So cool. I think I might just keep this. Maybe add some to these as well. I don't know, it just works so well. It looks so cool. I think I'm gonna grab a dedicated layer for that, because the way we can pass this one. Probably too much, but yes, we're adding so much detail this way. I kind of want to see how what the changes are. So yeah, we started with this tomorrow. Oh, not tomorrow. This morning, which is, yeah, I think we did 1 hour and 3/4 of. So we started with this, and now we're at this. I think that's definitely an improvement. Most of the improvement is on the centerpiece. It's okay, I think. Could do a little bit more improvement in this area with the car, and that's what we're gonna work on, and that area, and some people here, and just blend in the textures a little bit on the buildings. Maybe no, we're gonna throw on some lights and on this dome thingies, and we're gonna see how it looks. If it looks cool, we're gonna stick with it. If it doesn't, we're gonna get rid of it. Yeah, and then we're gonna do some more painting. I think probably 1 hour painting left to do, and then we're gonna call it a day because this one is getting to the finished state. I think I could live with myself to say that this is a finished piece, but I think if you spend more time with it, we can make it better. But yeah, at some point we have to say that it is finished, and I don't want to spend 10 live streams working on the same piece. So at least for the live streams, it will be finished, and then we will move on to the next one. I kind of want to come to a state where I can do one painting per live stream, but that means that we have to extend the live streams a little bit and paint a little bit faster. So I just need to be working instead of random. Group from the layers. I think I'm gonna collapse them all, and we'll just grab a new layer, start to paint a bunch of layers. All right, let's grab a little bit of this fancy light, throw it in here. Dodge, color dodge. It works so nice with the purple, and I feel so happy with it. Could just go for a. Also makes the. I think I might even. Well. Background. We're gonna add something to the dome. I'm quite sure, but I'm gonna add a background here just to have a little bit more information there and a little bit more illusion of lights everywhere. And then I'm gonna do one more. Sure, if I'm still happy with it. Let's undo it. Gonna collapse all the layers, and then we're gonna. I think we can. Back a border. Can check the values. Still quite. Could probably be a little bit of separation. This might be a tiny bit darker. This one could be a bit darker. Stands out from these two a little bit better. I think this one is okay. Probably okay as well. The church could. But at least you can still see what's going on once we turn on this value link. So that's a good thing. Something I need to learn to do a lot more. And there's also one thing I should do. I did it for the thumbnail. I didn't want to keep the same thumbnail. That's also the thing. I don't want to have 10 videos with the same thumbnail up. One letter difference. But switch the canvas, and that way you can check your perspective and see if it looks odd. Perspective is basically off, and I think we need to fix the perspective on. This is the background now. think we need to like this instead of this. I think that's better, and if we flip it back, it doesn't really strange. Did this? Not sure. Bottom part feels okay, but the top part feels. I think I'm gonna keep it. I think we're not at a stage that we can afford to really change it. This is gonna all these buildings like they're leaning back, but that's also maybe because I'm so used to looking at it like this. But these lines are perfectly. Once I change the perspective, they're slightly right, so that in there. I could check. I think the reason why it feels like it's strange is because this curvature. Um, but yeah, we're gonna have to live with it. Gonna grab my brush and we're gonna continue painting again because that's what we're doing here. I think in the somewhere in the future, I I want to do I want to start painting without well not sure if that's really viable, especially with digital painting. Such a powerful tool. It gives so much information to go off and work with, but maybe can find a way to link cells. Things because I also want to maybe we'll just do it without because I also want to be able to paint without this extra information, so to speak. I want to be able to create myself. So yes, probably something that we should just work on. The same way that I decided to do sci-fi because I was painting landscapes all the time. And I'm fairly confident with landscapes, and I thought, you know what, if I ever want to whatever painting, I probably need to something else now. Otherwise, I'm gonna be landscapes for the rest of my life, which I probably wouldn't mind. I quite enjoy painting those landscapes, but I want to broaden my perspective. Also, be confident in things like this. Because it's really enjoyable. We like it. Enjoyable process. It's something totally different than I normally do, and cool that it is kind of working out. Still a lot of things to learn for me, of course, but yeah, that's why I have this channel. It's all about the learning experience, and this channel is about following my learning track, so to speak. So hopefully I will be a painter one. I can still see that I was not so good painter by practicing and by doing stuff that I prove myself that way. That it just that there was a process involved. Because normally you see a lot of finished artwork, without all the sketches and all the work that's put into it. So maybe someone spent like 40 hours on a either digital or just and then like, wow, that looks cool. Or maybe a person only spends 5 hours on it. Oh, this 5 hours. Try you never able to such cool stuff in that amount of time, and then wow, how are able to content time? Well, first of all, maybe they have a lot more things like that. Plus, there's probably a lot of sketching involved, which got discarded. Maybe some tries, and that's not included in art piece that you see. Hopefully, this channel, this way that I'm learning now, will inspire people to do that as well. Because I'm still learning a lot. I know artist. You get to see the entire process from the blank canvas to some sketches, sometimes some line drawings, and sometimes I just throw in some paint and try to make something out of it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it works and but stick to it. I just work. Sometimes it doesn't. Discard it. Which is sad, but it is what it is. I think I need to work on this a little bit. So yeah, next week I'm not sure. I want to do one of the other sci-fi sketches that I did, but I don't want to stay too long with the same pieces. Kind of want to have some variety. That's why I'm also starting to make videos again, just live streams. Been a lot of live streams lately, just exclusively live streams, time lapses. Of course, after today, once we finish this, there will be time lapse with the entire process of this thing here. I think I'm gonna do it from the start of the sketch to product. Not sure how long it's gonna be, and if I will commentating over it, but we'll see. And there will also be other normal videos. I'm gonna challenge myself, and talked about this a little bit earlier in an earlier live stream. First, I was planning on doing a daily video with a painting, but that's gonna be quite difficult to do at the moment. But I'm gonna try to make a video twice a week. I make a small time lapse of doing a sketch or a rough painting of something that I did, and I'm gonna set a time limit to myself. I'm gonna take 30 minutes to paint something, and then I will make a nice video out of that. And I'm gonna do some different themes, maybe every week, maybe once a month. Pick a theme, and then we're gonna make all sorts of stuff from that theme. So I got this theme in mind for this month, which is strongholds. So we're gonna paint, sketch a lot of strongholds. Oops. And those won't be finished works, but those will serve as a way to develop my rough sketching skills and my ID generation skills. Will force me to come up with an ID, sort of a basic sketch or painting that kind of works in 30 minutes. Hopefully that will promote the ID design generation part of the brain. And maybe we can, if we have some nice sketches or rough paintings, can maybe take a couple of these and them works Not sure what I'm doing here. Oh yeah, I'm trying to get a bit of this. Yeah, we're gonna make it look like a cigarette, basically. Different, slightly. Still fairly bright. Maybe it's a little bit too bright. Can darken it a little. Some detail. Away with a slightly larger brush. Straight lines. Buildings generally out of steel like that. Yeah, this works. I think if you zoom out, it kind of cool here. Want to blend the texture paint. Grab a highlight here. Start looking there. Building. Don't want this piece to look like we took a couple of textures and threw it together and called it. Yeah, spent quite some effort. Make this so hopefully show that as well. I want to do some highlights on. Really want to overdo it. There. Some here and there, and also remember myself to do that on the buildings as well, because we've been so much on this day. So let's move on to this car, because we want to detail that car out as well. This one is driving or floating, or I think we want to say bring in some still lean. Another window here in the back. Grab a smaller brush. Highlights on it. And we probably want some also. And exhaust. Maybe this one. Have one. Just using technology to compare to the other one. Get different sort of ways to propose yourself. I mean, lean it. Cars will probably be the case. Ways transport itself. Reflection, window. just to add some tiny details. It, a little bit was same detail. The other cars, so a bit. And I also want to add some people. So I'm not very good at drawing. I'm gonna try. And you know, once you zoom out, it feels okay. We could probably add a little highlight to some of these. But some, well, probably back here. Oh, slightly smaller. Maybe this one is walking with a dog. And we just to create the illusion that there are people that's really well drawn or something. I mean, just basically sort of a stick with a round thing on top. But once you zoom out, it reads reasonably well as people. I think they can be a little bit darker. So let's do that. I probably should fix the road as well. The road. The other end, it adds quite a. Let's make them slightly darker. There, not too much. They are all. So look, I just carry something. That so I think they're standing out a little bit better as people. And you're never gonna squeeze your nose to the screen and look at, ooh, is this correct? Is this leg, the anatomy of the leg correct? Because I'm really bad at drawing people correctly, the anatomy and things like that. That's definitely something that I should start to focus on in the future. On practicing the human forms and things like that, because that's probably the most difficult thing to draw. Because we're so familiar with people, so if you're slightly off, even just the tiniest sliver off, it's odd. Correct anymore. And you know, with buildings or animals, things that you're not too familiar with, you can get away with slight mistakes, but not with people. People will the people that are gonna watch your artwork certainly gonna see, you know, it doesn't look correct. And if you pull a rhino shark, less likely to notice something is slightly off about this. So yeah, that's definitely something that I should practice a little bit more. I'm gonna draw some people here as well, and of course the can pull it off. Start with the head. Let's just draw a stick figure. Legs. I shouldn't be too worried about drawing perfect human beings, because if I do, that screwing gonna be as rough as I normally am. I'm really rough when something, and I think this person is too dark. Slightly less dark. With the backpack. Probably. He's jogging. I really should. Could just grab some silhouettes or something and goes on the painting and call it a day, but that's not the way to improve. If I do that, ever, we'll never learn. So, facing way. So that's not how I want to do it. Um, if I was really in a hurry, I could do that, but this gives me the opportunity to practice. No, it reads a little bit as people, so that's okay. Okay. I want to add a couple of people. Well, the background. And could go with a lot more, make it a lot more crowded. I think that's also a way to hide my my lack of skill. If you have a lot of people here, then you're much less likely to see each individual leg or arm or things like that. So if I would populate this street a lot more, I think it has issue. There, someone top. No, that's probably okay. I think we need to add a couple of highlights here and there. Separate. Bone. Looking at. Oh. Okay. Making this up. It's like a woman who's frantically running away from something. I don't know what's wrong with her, but I'm leaving it at that. I think if I add more people, I would just ruin. I would just ruin it. So let's not do that. Let's just keep it as it is. I think I think we populated the street fairly well here. Let's see, what can I do more to this? I kind of want to work on this building a little bit. Bit messy. I want to clean it up. Some sort of artifact going on there. That up. Not entirely straight, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna. I don't really need straight architecture. I can make the shapes of this building interesting. They are currently. So especially on top here, I think we can. And to finish that off, we probably need some highlights. And we can pronounce it a little, adding some highlights there. Slightly light color. Like this. Perspective on these windows is slightly off. So probably here. It's also something I need to work on. My patience, I think it's getting there, but sometimes I'm still a bit too impatient and throwing stuff down on the canvas, and I think, you know what? Clean it, man. Careful. Get go. Can prevent that mess from happening. Shoot. Careful sometimes. I think this perspective of this entrance is slightly off, but not gonna bother it, I think. To slide as well. extra details here and there. Yeah, I think we're almost at a stage that I'm happy enough to call this painting finished. So it took quite a lot of hours, all the live streams combined. I think I worked for hours. I think on for me that's actually a record. Never worked on a painting this long. But usually I paintings, and I think you can get rid of can actually them a lot rougher while they feel that they are rough. It sounds a little bit strange, but landscapes are quite rough from themselves, so doesn't really feel like being too rough when you have a very rough landscape painting. It doesn't really feel off. And here you have to be quite precise. So you have all these hard edges, things like that. So that's something that was a good practice for me. Harsh, all these hard edges. And that's definitely something I have to keep working on. Better with hard edge paintings. Of course, in a rock also has a hard edge, but not rougher. So you can be for a building. If a building is straight, it's straight. If a rock is straight. You can get rid of. You can get away with it being slightly curved or whatever. A building that's can get rid. You can get away with. So yeah, that's definitely something to keep reminding myself of working on. Also, I really work on, so problem. Really enjoyed this painting, especially because it's so different from what I normally from what I used to do, and I really enjoy that. I really like it. I'm really happy with this a little bit because it was way out of my comfort zone, but it so much confidence, this painting. I hope I can keep that confidence at you when I start sketch. Not sure if I can create one today. Well, I'm gonna make one today after the live stream. I'm gonna paint a little bit. Not sure if it will be online today. At least it will be this somewhere on Friday. If I can, I will do it today. I will make sure that it. Okay. But and my PC has to render the. That takes not too long, but it takes some time. Load it, time, things like that. Takes time. And speed process. But if I paint for half an hour, that's the goal. That's easy. Half an hour, but then the post processing part is so another hour, I think at least. Yeah, and then it will end up being a 10-minute, so 10-minute video, 1.5 hours. It's actually quite busy job. It's not a job. It will be. Currently, it's just a hobby. Enjoy and really plan on enjoy it so much. Yeah, the rest of it is just going to things like this. Already, I've been for now so long. Add a bit of this, add a bit of that. Here, add it there. Make this line a little bit more straight. Straighten up this line, clean this edge, like that. I just speak a little. Probably people that I was going back to rough patient mode. So patient. Really something that I need to work on. I can go in this sort of rampage mode said before. Sometimes really good results, especially in the rough stages, one sketch and things, because you can get a sketch done fast, although it's, but you also get a sort of a lot of happy accidents and details from those happy accidents. But I need to learn that later in the painting and later stage, I need to calm down and sort of work without that. And I don't know about a word hate mode. Just like let's say, for instance, if I want to create a little tower here, I would go like this and tower. That, that's not working. Not at this stage. It is when you're designing. I think then it probably quite good at it. Well, it works for me, so I'm not changing it. Maybe when I find a thing that works better, I will change it. Because I now find that this works a lot better. Being thoughtful about my this stage, that perfectly. So that's definitely something that this painting all taught me. Be a little bit more relaxed and think a little bit better about where to put certain. And yeah, that's definitely something. And don't be afraid to just paint the things how they are. If I want to, let's say I want to create a window here. How do I do that? Do dark or do light? Doesn't really matter because you have dark areas and you have light areas. So now we have found that. Go. And I used to have a lot of anxiety and uncertainty on how to do that, but I think I'm getting better at it. So yeah, this painting has taught me so much. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do the usual time lapse from this painting. I think I'm gonna just comment on over it because there's so much to talk about, and I think it makes it a little bit more interesting to watch. Than when it's just a simple time lapse. Yeah, I think I could spend another 24 hours, so to speak, on this painting. For instance, detailing this thing out, just an hour, and shape that don't shape, something. But things like that, I could spend hours, I think. And I think the painting would definitely still can definitely improve that way. But it's also a thing to on. For instance, we that on there just we could something down here, say positioning thing to broadcast. Really rough, the rampage mode. I talked about it before. I and then does it work? Yeah, it could work. And then I could spend minutes making it look nice and detailing it a little bit better. And we could do all sorts of stuff on these buildings. We could make more of those boards and maybe get another lamppost somewhere and things like that. There's always stuff that you can add. In that sense, a painting is never really finished. I think you can always make this brushstroke a little bit better, that thing a little bit. Uh, but what look trying to go for? Is it have to be perfect painting, perfect perspective, perfect line work, everything? Yeah, you can spend hours and hours. And of course, the more experience you have, the faster you will go. I mean, I'm fairly slow at this point, but that's okay. I need to learn slow. That's definitely a point. I kind of want to move too fast a lot of the time. Then again, the rampage mode, and then things don't always work out the way it out or the way I wanted to. That's my own fault because I didn't find to think about stuff and size enough. But yeah, there are definitely different levels of finished. I'm still. I will end up leaving this in a still a fairly rough stage. But I also like that because you keep a lot of information in your painting that is up to interpretation for other people, and then different people might see different things. And I really like that. I'm not that kind of guy that paints something down and everyone can. Yeah, you have to able to see what's going on. If you can't see this is a city scene or even a sci-fi city scene, yeah, people need to be able to see that this is a sci-fi city scene. They don't, and my goal I didn't achieve my goal. But after that, that's the initial thing. After that, yeah, they should be able to see goals and things like that. But for instance, these things here, I don't really have any function for it. So people might come in there and think that's looking like that, and that might be this and things. I'd like to keep a couple of things up to interpretation of the are watching, looking at the painting. What time is it? It's 15 past 1. I think I'm gonna call it a day here. I could, it could go on and on and on, and add more detail. I might do a little bit more detail in my spare time and put the end result at the end of the time lapse that is coming, probably coming next week. So if I add more to it, then the finished will be there. But I think we definitely are at a state that I'm fairly pleased with it. After the textures, we cleaned it up nicely. We added some people. We added some paint. We can definitely add some more in some places and a little bit more detail. A little bit, make it a little interesting. But I think for now, this is currently at a good state. I'm gonna call it a day here. This is the last stream that we did with this particular painting. Next week there's gonna be a new stream with a new painting. It's probably gonna be one of the other sci-fi paintings that I did the sketches on, so your eyes open for that, and hopefully it will be nice. And of course there's gonna be a video this week about the strongholds challenge, so to speak. I need to figure out a nice title, but that's gonna be me painting for 30 minutes, painting or sketching or drawing or whatever. It's gonna be all sorts of stuff. But the only limiting factor is the time limit of 30 minutes. And I'm gonna make a nice video out of that. Alright, thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys that watched enjoyed it and had a good time and learned something from it. And I definitely did. I learned a lot. This is a really good way for me to learn, because I know I'm going to show this to other people are watching. On the one hand, it makes you a little bit nervous. On the other hand, it also makes you want to start painting more, so you end up with a better painting, I think, as long as you can be reasonably relaxed. Yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, consider liking this video. There will be a VOD of this, so if you VOD, thank you, and subscribe, as it shows in the bottom. You can subscribe to the channel, and there will be more content in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you later. Bye.